I want to ask you a question. Who's coaching you? Who's asking you the tough questions? Who's telling you, man, you're the common denominator to all of your issues and challenges? Who's telling you, man, all day long, you become the magnetic pulse that attracts to you both good and bad? I want to be your life coach. I want to be the one that cheers you on to the finish line. I want to be the one that you ask the tough questions. And it doesn't mean that I have all the answers, but that means that you have a partner, someone who believes in you, not the you see right now, but the you can't imagine, the you that you are to become, the you were destined to be. I always say we both need the positive and the negative. It's not enough to have the knowledge of the matter, but we must have the wisdom as well. For wisdom settles it. And that's what I want to offer you as you join me on the Coach's Corner. I want to offer you the wisdom of the matter. Maybe it might be relationships, talking about our campaigns for more, for life, the dark room for our subconscious, our spiritual journey. Whatever it is, I want to be there to encourage you, to build you, to challenge you, to cheer you on to the finish line. I'm qualified to do this. Why? Because I'm you.
Welcome to another edition of the Coach's Corner right here on SIBN Radio. My name is Marcus Sillett. Assuredly, as I approach the microphone, I have my own problems, my own issues, my own challenges. We don't call them problems anymore because they're fixable. We call them challenges. And I have my own challenges. But I have been given some wisdom from my own mistakes. And I trust that I can earn the right to speak into your life. And today, we want to talk for a moment. Hardcore motivational, inspirational thought leadership on perception. Things are not as they appear. Things are not as though they appear. Thank you so much for joining us around the world. Those of you that have tuned in to the various platforms where SIBN television and radio airs, thank you so very much. We appreciate those that are following us on Twitter, following us there on Facebook. Don't forget, you can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Sillett USA. That connects you directly to me, SALETTE USA. No TV at the end. Let's get right to work. Yes, sir. Things are not as they appear. I want you to understand that the maturity, the wisdom of life brings you to a thesis, if you will, a conclusion about how not to ever look at a circumstance or situation ever again. Things, circumstances, environments are not as they appear. I said on one show there is a duality of our existence of sorts. Why? Because while our bodies are here within the, I want to say, terrestrial atmosphere, for you scientists and biologists out there, you probably email me the word that I could have used. But then the me that is on the microphone extends beyond the shell that I dwell. And there is a me of character traits. There is a me of personality traits. This is one example of things are not as they appear. Once you get that down in your spirit, then you're ready to move on and probably make a little bit more headway in life. As I said, I'm in a shell. Here I dwell on the earth. But there is a me that you can't see. But it is a me that you can see. You get what I'm saying? In other words, you can't put your hand on a nasty personality, but you sense it's there. The me that is here, and then the me that is inside with the shell where I dwell, full of life through my character and my disposition and through my personality. There's a part of us that we can't touch, but we can perceive based on the trajectory, based on the altitude from the attitude. And so I don't want you to miss your goal in life. I don't want you to miss your purpose in life, being deceived. And listen, things are not as they appear includes things that you hear are not as they hear, as you hear them. You get what I'm saying? Perception is both visual and audio. Audio falls under that category. Just because someone says they love you, for instance, doesn't mean that they're willing to die for you, because the ultimate gift of love is to present oneself as a sacrifice. Now, don't go crazy on me if you're having problems with depression. Just stay your hand. Because there are many ways to die without dying. You can die to your attitude and let others be first. You can die to your opinion and keep it to yourself. You could die in the walk and journey of Christian discipleship and carry your cross. You could die by getting wisdom on various projects that you're considering before you get lost. You can die by getting to know so you can grow. There's a million ways to die without taking the easy route. You can die by loving without conditions. And now, let me just say this. Loving without conditions doesn't mean that the conditions are thereby approved. I need some help right there. We got this funny thing in society about love that just really freaks me out sometimes. Loving without conditions simply means that I will treat you as a king even though you act like a peasant. I will treat you like a queen even though you act like a peasant. I will treat you as though I envision you until your perceptions change enough to see what I see. That's what God says. And through the help that I will give you, maybe you can see. I've done the work. I need you to accept the work. This is not a Bible study. This is a motivational, inspirational, and every now and then spiritual, daily, hardcore motivational session. And to prove it, my DJ don't be playing. I'm going to take a small break and I'm going to come right back. Things are not as they appear. Those that think they are will be walking in deception for a while. And because things are not as they appear, it requires a level of discernment, perceptional accuracy, listening ear to what is not being said rather than what is being said. Things are not as they appear because there's much more to life than the first layer. The first layer is usually the performance layer. The layer of activity, as you remember in one of my shows, the layer of activity really does not show who I am. I hide behind my activity. So things are not as though they appear. But perceptually speaking, what do you see? That is the real question. What do you see? You know, you can see a desire, chase it, have it, lose everything in the process because of it, and then sit back and say, why did that happen to me? Because perception is how you see things. But it's not just how you see it in the naked eye, in the natural eye. Perception is how you see it psychosocially. Perception is how well your lens of both subconscious and conscious minds, and they're two different ones, you know. One that's asleep and that gives you things rather easily based on the multiple inferences and data that is stored in its banks. And then the other is the conscious. See, what do you see? Are you able to see? And that's a whole nother question. Some people are not able to see because they are locked in a time capsule momentarily, perhaps, of immaturity. They don't want to grow up, and they refuse to grow up because they don't take responsibility and they're not going to be accountable. Why you keep on fooling with those kind of people? Why you keep on stepping into the box with folks who have 1,000 limits? Why do you hang around that group? It looks like they're cool, but you end up playing the fool. And it's not helping you. It only makes you feel. But even perception bypasses feelings. If you're going to be dictated to by your feelings, your perception will always be unclear. If you're going to be dictated to by your surroundings, then your perception will be unclear. You and I are caught in the thicket with a dual eyesight, one with the eye that is on our face and one the eye of the conscious mind. And the question really is, what do you see? What have you seen? What are you seeing? It's Coach. Take a break. Your ability to tell the truth about what you see is very key. To perceive is to question what one believes and not be gullible enough to believe everything one sees. To perceive is to look beyond the surface into more than just the soul. That's why lust is, for an example, very deceptive. Feels like love, touches like sacrifice. But oh, in time, lust ain't really nice. Because lust has one object in mind: disguise. That's right. And that's what perception is all about. Picking up on those disguises. Picking up on masquerades. Picking up on being duped in dumbness. fools with foolishness. Perception. It's interesting how women have the power to shape perception. The combination of colors, the right heels, the right perfumes, they can alter with a smile and stroke of their walk. They can alter perception. Men even do it even worse. Boasting of their four wheels, what they drive and where they work. Flashing a bundle of bills. A bundle of cash. Flashing a bundle of cash. Smooth cologne, the latest clothes, shine shoes. Well, they don't shine shoes anymore. They wear tennis shoes. Sorry about that. But it's amazing to us. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to you how they can really paint a picture of what they want us to see, but really it is a totally different situation. Things, people are not as they appear. And this is even true in the Christian dimension, if I might visit there for a moment. You would think that discernment would be highest within the four walls of fellowship every week, but that is when it is the lowest, because we have masked perfection. And our guard is down because we think we're in a secure environment. Trust me, you're not. You're more secure in your weakness on the street with the help of the Holy Ghost to speak and whisper in your ear, this is not the way. Go over here. Than you are sometimes, most times, on a Sunday in the fellowship hall. The enemies that we have of our own household, the enemies that we struggle with, know us, they think, best. Because I'm going from glory to glory and from story to story, and I'm not stuck on my victimized self. And that I have been in power, and I have stepped up to the mic, and I have stepped up to the plate, and I have taken life off the shelf. I promise you that my perception is changing, and while you think you are fooling me with this and that, and while you think you are impressing me with tit for tat, I have moved myself beyond that to understand that what I see is just a prelude to my investigation. And I can't be fooled by everyday whims of people's imagination. I myself now see deeper within me, and so now I can be free to see deeper within my situation and my circumstance, and so therefore I am not gullible and I am not easily impressed anymore, because I understand that things are not as they appear. People say things they don't mean. One song says, tell me lies and tell me now the lies I want to hear. I want to lie, and I want you to tell it to me now. I don't want the truth. I don't want another side. I want my side and my side alone. See, that's immaturity. No such thing as just your side. Everything we do connects us with everybody else, and everybody else is connected with everything we do. And when you step off and do your thing, though I may not have anything to say in your opinion, and I should mind my own business in your opinion, my tax dollars go to support your weakness. On that, I'm going to take a small break, and I'll be back. where else are you going to get hardcore motivation for every day? I know some of y'all dropped off on your listenership, but you know what? I'm setting a new trend for you. This hardcore motivation every single day of the week that I can come up, at least Monday through Friday anyway. Trying to get you to the finish line, man. I'm just trying to get you to the finish line. Trying to get you to where you have not gone before. Trying to get you through that open door. Trying to get you for life for more. That's my job. Check me out. And you know what? Those who look at life through a singular lens are deceived. There's always will be much more than appears before your naked eyes. Even for those who have been indoctrinated and have thrown themselves at the whims of their bishops, their clergymen, and their ministers, do not have access. Because of their pride, they have been blocked from the truth of the matter. In a multidimensional sense, to understand and to comprehend that though there may be one, from the one becomes many, and there's many that are lost in the concept. The effort to try to impress their friends and impress their colleagues. They swallow anything that sounds good. And you know, a mess can look professionally messy. I felt that right there. And some of the best foolish folk are the ones who suited up, got degrees or otherwise, say the right things at the right time for what appears to be the right reason. But there is no balance, modesty, apt to change willingly at all. It's their way or the highway. And those who know that things are not as they appear know how through perception to maneuver around. Even in a relationship, things are not as they appear. Every 3 to 5 years, even 7, your needs change in a relationship. This is why people say, well, I don't recognize the man I married. Well, I hope not, because he should be growing up. She should be growing up, and things are not as they appear because your needs change. And so what you might have given her when you first got married won't do 2 years later, 3 years later. It takes about 36 months plus to begin to yearn for, not anything wrong, but yearn for another level of maturity. Another season has come upon you, whereas your good mornings are different and your good nights change. Not drastically, just subtly. So in a relationship, we're not talking about drag out, knock out, nasty, okay? Download and dirty. We're just talking about great relationships still. Things are not as they appear. And that can be taken good in a good way and in a bad way. And then if you find something that seems to be straight up, there was a grave cost. It's been a grave cost for me to be on the microphone. It's a grave cost. You wouldn't even imagine. You wouldn't even imagine. Grave cost. A cost so great that sometimes I could speak of it and sometimes I can't. And I don't even care anymore. I don't give a damn who likes me anymore, who wants to go with me, and all the promises of how I'm going to help you, I'm going to sign up. It's BS. People are selfishly self-centered, You have to fly solo until the flock of your kind is revealed. Because people just are caught up. They're caught up. You got to know your place and know your race and understand that your legacy and your destiny is up to you. You can't fool around trying to get people to affirm and confirm who you should be and who you think you are becoming, because they will let you down every single time. Your perception has to improve. How you see things have to improve, and you have to be willing to leave that money sometimes on the table, because sometimes we pull up with a lot of foolishness because that foolishness is offering us to pay the fees. That fool offers to pay the fees. How long do you tolerate something while it seems to be beneficial in the financial sense, but it is killing you psychosocially? How long do you suck off the blood of a fool? Because trust me, it's going to cost me in the end. To walk with a fool is to walk with a future at risk. To walk with a fool is to walk with my future at risk. Note that right there. Perception. Being able to see beyond the surface. That even when one opens their mouth, I'm looking. And each one of us has a multiplicity of wells perhaps from which to draw. And we have a guard up. Yeah, we got a guard up. We got a wall that we built. So you're only peeking into the side they want you to see. Maybe that's the way it should be. I can't tell you whether or not to wear your mask. But I have a little saying, as you mature, don't let them see you cry. Don't let them see you hurt. That can be very, very dangerous. While you're yelling for help, same folk that'll help you, but bring you back down once you pass them. Because things are not as they appear. Be back to wrap things up. This is the Coach. Well, it's time to get ready to get out of here. It's time to go. It's time to go. Thanks, DJ. Time to go. Time to go. It's been good. It's been nice. I said as many things I could twice. Trust that you will be able to follow along. And eventually, if you do your homework, you'll get home. You'll get to the home runs of life. So next time, whatever you do, follow me on Twitter if you can. @USA TV. And on Facebook, my personal access, facebook.com/SelectUSA. If you have not been following us, follow us. That's the only way you're going to keep up with the programming of SIBN Radio. Television and radio networks, SIBN. Thank you to all the volunteers, interns. And until next time, whatever you do, take care of yourself. This is Coach.